It's happening right now, and most people do not see it. We're going to talk about deflationary spirals, how they happen, and the fact that the media has the American people so confused. And if you're not watching this from America, let me know where you're watching from down below. The reason why I say that is because it is going to affect the rest of the world, because America still is known as the leader, even though it's falling apart. And that's what we're going to talk about in the economy. We'll use housing as an example because housing is the most important part of the economy. It is what gives the greatest wealth effect to humans. It is what causes them to spend recklessly or to contract and save or severely slow their spending, which causes just the slight uptick in a reserve spending on the American people can cause a massive recession. All right. It's been 3 years now. I've started the channel. We're about to, maybe we just turned 4 years. I don't know. I started to warn people about this economic collapse, and I started teaching cycles. And one of the parts of economic cycles is the teaching, the explanation, even though I use a lot of comedy to wake people up. And I'll get into reason why I do that in a second or later down the road, is because Father Time just doesn't switch on deflation and says, okay, everything's going up, now everything's going down. It doesn't work that way. It starts in certain segments. So that's why we've talked about how inflation ramps up. We used food as an example. We've seen all kinds of crazy stuff in the economy, like attacks on our food supply when it comes to meat, beef specifically, chickens, things like that, our dairy cows. Places are being burnt down. We see supply chain issues. That's food. Food's been going up. It's all been done this time specifically to put the American people into a very serious pinch. And that is to usher in a new currency, a digital currency. And people will beg for it and they will accept it because it's going to be given at first like a drug. The first one's free, but the next one's going to cost you. My hopes are to be able to wake up 1 million people in America alone that are ready for this collapse, because the Federal Reserve wants this to collapse, and run at it headlong, and attack it and take advantage of it and become super wealthy. We need the good-hearted middle class of this nation to become very wealthy, because you don't feed starving people with good thoughts. You feed them with money to go buy food. Most people fail to realize this. Now, when we're talking about the housing market has been falling for about a year and a half. And it's interesting because, check this out, actually. I got a pretty awesome, all right, I'll have to get back to that. Sorry, that threw me off. Someone I haven't talked to in a long time. It's ironic he's calling me today. We are in a moment where people think that good thoughts are going to help things. No. This world is in the position it is in today because of a wealth disparity, a wealth gap. California can put out crazy California laws because they're the 8th largest economy in the world. New York can put out these crazy laws because they're one of the richest states, if not next to California, in the country. Okay? So we need to take the money back. The easiest way to do that is through real estate holdings. And I know it sounds crazy because you got BlackRock and all these companies buying up houses and renting them to us, and they want to turn us into slaves. But this right now is our finest hour. And no, I'm not here to sell you a course, but I'm going to explain why I teach a specific way, regardless if you're my student or not. If you are my student, type 1 down below. You probably won't see a lot of ones, but that's also a good thing because we're going for a specific type of person. This story out of Newsweek says house prices fall nearly half of the United States, in half of the states. It says the apparently unstoppable growth of home prices in the U.S. is finally slowing down as Aspiring buyers struggle with affordability, according to the latest data from Moody's Analytics, with nearly half of all states reporting drops last month. Now, just so you know, the media is keeping. All right, let me explain something really clear here. So I got to hang out with my buddy Blaine from in Chicago. He is the one that started a YouTube channel on my prompting. I mean, I bugged the crap out of him for a year and a half. He finally started it. He gets to around 2,000 subscribers, and I'm just so stoked for him. He monetized fast. I was so happy for him because I keep encouraging all of you to go and start YouTube channels, right? I'm probably the only YouTuber out there that's talking about, please be my competition, okay? You see a bunch of two-faced moron fools out there in the world, especially in the finance sector, that shouldn't even be in the finance sector. They can't even afford their own home, okay? Being honest, they can't even afford their own cars. And I'm not even talking fancy cars, all right? But people watch them because they're charismatic, all right? And so I'm encouraging people, and they're the ones that do not want any competition. They can't stand other people like me, and I'm out there trying to get everyone to do it. Well, Blaine goes and does it. He finds himself on Fox Business. You guys have heard the story. I don't want to beat the drums. So, but the other day I was talking to him, and he sent a text. He screenshotted it to me. I don't know if I could send. I might have his info in there, but he screenshotted it to me about the producers raving about his interview and stuff. And he says, "Hey, why don't we get the ninja on? Get him on live. You'll be stoked." I'm paraphrasing, and they didn't even answer him back. They just ghosted him at that point. The fact of the matter is, there are a lot of people in the media that get their information from groups. Like when we talk about the real estate economy, they get it from places like the National Association of Realtors. If you understood how disgustingly screwed up that data is, you have to realize this. You're getting data if you go to the NAR. That's why they don't want to tell you all the truths. But the Federal Reserve is publishing the truth. Housing market is falling. It has already fallen on the same percentage as the entire Great Recession. End of story. We're talking about median home price or average home price. Pick your flavor. I don't care which one it is. All right? But the media runs to the NAR. And what you have to realize, the NAR fully and only exists because real estate agents are forced to pay them money for advertising and all this kind of crap and this delusional data. All right? When all goes down, my videos on YouTube, I marked the exact point at when the market topped. I was a couple of months early. I'm like, this is it. Market's topped. Here we go. It was based off of mortgage rates. You are going to see a deeper and deeper decline in the housing market. End of story. And you know what's really cool? All those pundits on YouTube and on NBC and all that stuff, they'll all of a sudden come out and say, well, look, here we go. Good news is there's no recording of them time-stamped lives that showed people when this was happening. And I want people to get ready for this. And I've always said this, and I stand behind it today. The scariest thing and the most laughable moment is when I come on YouTube and I go, guess what, guys? It's time to buy. And everyone will mock me, just like I was mocked in 2001 because houses were falling and they only fell for a very small period. But people couldn't get past the fact that I was going to be flipping homes like crazy because we'd been in a housing bull market since 94 or 96, really, because of the 94 recession. So, and I'm okay being mocked. I'm okay with it. And I do things for specifically, I'm like, you want to mock me? All right, let me go never change my clothes, sit out in a dirt field and act a little goofy. I enjoy being mocked because I can't stand, I loathe mockers. I loathe them. From being picked on as a young kid to standing up for other people that couldn't stand up for them as I grew, get what they deserve. When people spew stupid things out of their mouth, they deserve what comes to them. And so ever since I started this channel, I was looking for a specific type of person, a person that would believe, just believe, not only in what they're hearing, maybe from me or someone else, but then in themselves. That's true power. I was laughed at when I tried to buy my first home. The mortgage lady laughed at me. Not only did I have that same home 45 days later, but I had 14 homes 2 years later. I don't accept mocking. And right now, mainstream media is mocking you in a way because a lot of them know it. They don't want to have people on with live. Get me in a room with an intelligent person that can ask me a good question. And trust me, I've been in the room with all the biggest. They've all said the exact same thing to me because I don't talk like I talk on this channel. When I have somebody looking across from me and asks an intelligent question, I can give them a very intelligent answer. I'm completely different in my courses, how I teach, and when I'm in front of somebody that really wants to have some information, I'm completely different. But I chose this method because I'm trying to wake up people that never believe in themselves, that have more power and authority inside of them than they could shake a stick at. Right now, it says here, they're talking about in Newsweek that homes have fallen in half of the states of the country, right? On Newsweek. And I've been showing you the proof that they've been falling nationwide for well over a year. And you're about to see an acceleration. And the Federal Reserve completely understands and knows this. They're going to destroy your jobs. The second you see official unemployment numbers really rise, you're going to see a straight panic in Wall Street. I've had people ask me or mock, you've been saying the economy's going to crash for 3 years. Mike, it is. You're an idiot. I'm just being straight blunt. You're an idiot. If you don't understand, if you want to sit there and mock someone and you don't understand when there is an inflation period in the nation and in the world, the stock market actually goes up with it, but it never keeps up with true inflation. Also, on top of that, understanding investor, because I've been a day trader. Oh, yeah. There are a handful of people that have understood now what I do or have done with cryptocurrency because I'm teaching it now, right? With trading. And one thing you have to understand is the investor mindset. You get all those fools that sit there and they go, look at how rich I am. And you were crazy to sell. Look at how much more worth I am. And then, you know, that whole Jim Cramer's right when he says that that bulls climb upstairs, bears jump out of a window. The second sentiment turns, you can't catch that falling knife fast. You're running and you lose everything. And the prudent man stores money slowly, little by little, right? A fool gains it fast and it flies right out of their hands. Just like pretty much 99% of all the lottery winners out there in the world. We watch TV about them. We watch all these shows. But the prudent man and woman right now in America is getting ready for the greatest economic collapse in their lifetimes. And you are going to continually be a winner. There are so many people that keep saying to me, I just have nothing. They keep looking at how little they think they have compared to maybe one or two wealthy people they know. And they go, I have nothing compared to them. I need more, or I'm never going to be ready enough. And I say, you need to stop comparing yourself to a wealthy person and start comparing yourself to the morons out there that listen to the National Association of Realtors, or the people that listen to Jim Cramer, or heaven forbid, listen to Dave Ramsey with the whole God perspective. You know, lots of snake oil salesmen have come before people and made millions, if not billions of dollars in the name of Jesus. Think about that. Let me ask you this. How many of you, and I love to get you typing, I love to get you saying things out loud, but I want you to say this, not I am ready, because no one's ever truly ready, but I want you to say this. If you're getting ready, say I'm getting ready. And let me know if you're pumped. Give me the best emoji ever for your emotions right now. And I also want another segment of people. And now watch this. Look at this. You're in a group right now. If you're one of those people that feel alone, if your friends and family are mocking you or laughing at you or making fun of you based on you talking about, you know, at a dinner party or at a barbecue or at a soccer game. I just heard it. Actually, I should have stopped it. I was in a coffee store and I was getting my coffee to come here live. And there was a white man, a black man. And I'm going to call out the races right now because I love this. I love this. You want to talk about racism? Let's get racist right now. The fact of the matter is, if you go and look at all these government numbers, it shows that certain races are more affluent and they have better education. Well, I completely agree. And also, if you look at certain races, there are certain races that don't have a complete family. They're fatherless families, right? This black man, gentleman, he was probably 60 years old. And he was talking to this white man. The white man had his the white man, had his military hat on, and the gentleman talking to him, the African American guy, is talking to him about the prospects of war with China and how China is attacking our economy. And I'm like, and I want to break in so bad. I'm like, do you want to talk about the BRICS? But I'm like, this is what I want. You know, when I watch those videos of people like, who are you going to vote for president? And there are channels that are blowing up because they're going to the Hispanics, they're going to the African Americans, and they're going, who do you want to vote for? Who are you voting for? And they're like, we're voting for the guy that nobody wants, but actually everyone wants. Think about that. They're like, we're not voting for this clown that's in office right now. No, we know what's going on. And and I even see people of different races outside of whites going, we get it. They're trying to start a war right now. They want to start a war, a race war. They want to start a equality war, a financial war, like a class warfare. We're not buying it. Man, nothing gets me more fired up than that. But obviously it's rude when the ninja just I do it all the time. My wife gets pissed. I intervene in conversations like, well, do you know about this and this? They're like, what? Because people should be talking about that. But if you're one of those people that choose in public, at a party setting, to talk about the BRICS nations or about what's going on with our food supply, instead of talking about Timmy's last soccer score, who gives a crap about that? And I guarantee you, Timmy ain't going to remember when he's trying to get a job and the only employer out there is the federal government because they're printing money like crazy, trying to turn us into little slaves. Type 2 if that's you. Type 2 if you feel like an outsider right now. Well, here's the good news. As you're typing 2, because I bet you there's a handful of people out there that feel outside because they're getting mocked by their spouse. Good news. I got mocked for decades. You know what it took? I guess starting a YouTube channel and people recognizing me all over the world and being awesome people, wanting to hug and shake hands and, talk about real things. Stop Mrs. Ninja from mocking me. Guess what? You're not alone. Okay? So all the people typing 2 right now, remember this. Right now, you are in a room. You're in a room with me. You're in the car. It can only fit about 6, but we're going to try and jam you in there. But you're in a room with the most amazing human beings around the world. Now check this out. Watch this. And I like hearing you talk about saying it out loud. I'm getting ready. I'm going to shove this economic collapse right up Biden's pie hole. This is what I want you to understand. You're never going to feel fully ready, right? But I want you to know that you just need to compare yourself to all the fools out there mocking you quietly. You don't do it to their face. Trust me, I've done that. I got lots of stories. The guys at the fire station can tell you. But I'm telling you right now, you could sit there and smile and grin and go, yeah, you know what? I might not be as ready as I want. But I'm more ready than that person. And I'm more ready than that person. And I know those people. I remember talking to them about gold and silver, Bitcoin, getting out of debt, what the White House is doing to us. And they mocked me. I tried to help them. Well, I'm going to go and try and help someone else. Then I'm going to zero in on that house because with the day they're moving out, and this is a true story. They're moving out. I don't go ask them. I go get on the city records and find out what bank holds their note and call them up and go, hey, if you want, I'll put an offer on that house. That's a real story. This ain't my first rodeo. And to the one person in this room that would think that's mean, yeah, start warning the world. Start warning your neighbors. See what happens. I want to warn the nations. I've been working on a project that I'm going to release in a month, I think. Maybe it might take me like 6 weeks. I have been losing sleep over it. Because it's funny, as an educator, and I'm talking a guy that has taught thousands of firefighters, created my own courses out of nothing. We're talking about a guy that didn't finish high school, okay? So nobody's got an excuse, all right? A guy that can barely read, y'all know that's the truth. No pedigree, as the CEO of one of my companies said once. Doesn't matter. To be a good educator, you have to inspire people. You have to inspire your students. And you have to find different little interesting ways to inspire. And I found something that I've been losing sleep over for weeks. And it's a good thing. It's a healthy kind of losing sleep. You're excited. I have to wake up and write notes down, That's why I was in Chicago last week working on this project. And we're going to absolutely decimate the banks in a very special way because we're going to use the banks to decimate the banks. It's like every time somebody shares my videos on Facebook through one of those groups, the group settings, right? And people jump on, we're using Facebook to destroy Facebook. It's very simply that. And I'm excited. I'm in a new city now. I've got to go and find, right after I stop this video, I'm going to go find some new shooting locations. I've got a new angle that I'm going to hit you guys with. And it's a risk, but I'm going to need your input. And so I've got to go and find a place to do this at. I'm going to go, I believe there's a spot nearby where some, let's just say some Nephilim are. And I'm going to go and look for those. And I'm going to do some really cool things. I'm excited. Life's about to change big in a good way for Ninja Nation. If you are part of Ninja Nation, type 11. And the reason why I say that is because if you understand what it's like to be prepared and not scared, you take all these crazy people on, people that think they know everything. It's a special place to be. And it's not about me. It is about us. We have the power and the authority to do this. Matter of fact, if this is getting you pumped up, let me know down below because I want to read through the comments because I know it's a different type of video. But if this is what you needed today, let me know or type 12. Hope you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out. Oh, last thing. I'm going to put a link to the, what is it called? Oh, crap. I was doing so good until then. Ninja. Brain fart, brain fart, brain fart. Newsletter. I'm going to put a newsletter. Hopefully somebody didn't just sort of off to the street. I'm going to put a link to the newsletter. Click it if you don't mind, if you want, because daily it just sends the videos right to you, plus recaps and like a brief summary of everything that's going on that day. All right, well, see you later. Bye.